Hey guys, welcome back to Onward Guitar. My name is Patrick Hackenberry. We're going to be taking a closer look at my Yamaha C40. Alright, let's just review the main parts of the guitar. You have the head, the neck, and the body. Up here on the head we have the tuning pegs, and they go through the slots, and they come, each string goes through this white part here. This is called the nut, and then it goes over the first fret on down to the 12th fret. Now the fret is the metal piece, and you put your fingertip on this part, and this is called the fingerboard. So we have the fingerboard attached to the neck with frets. We have the first fret to the 12th fret, and then the strings come down and they attach to the bridge. Now the strings go over the sound hole, and this part is called a rosetta, and here's the sound board. Now the guitar gets the volume when it vibrates, the board vibrates, and it comes out the sound hole. Now one interesting thing here we're going to look at, from the first fret, actually from this nut to the 12th fret to the bridge. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's exactly the same length. So the 12th fret is the halfway point. So let's look right here from 12th fret. See that? It's exactly halfway. Alright, we're going to talk about one thing really quick called the intonation. Intonation is when you fret the strings at different places on the fretboard, it's still in tune. Like if you're playing the E, it'll be in tune, but then when you fret it here, you should get the G. Now the way you check the intonation is you're going to fret the guitar on the 12th fret, and it should still be the E, A, D, G, B, E. So let's check it here with our tuners. Still getting an E, A, D, that one's perfect, G, perfect, B, E. One amazing thing about this guitar is when I bought it, I spent less than $100 and the intonation was already set up perfectly. Alright, today we're going to learn how to change the strings. Now the current strings we have on here are these coated ones, and we're going to change them out and put on these new ones, the EJ47 normal tension. Alright, so that's what we're going to be swapping to. First thing we're going to do is loosen our strings. Of course, we have our string winder here, which will make it faster. Alright. It's important to protect your guitar, so we're going to place this here and this here so that we don't scratch the wood. We have our wire cutters. I'm going to go ahead and cut this string here. Some people say to do a few at a time, but I'm just going to go ahead and do them all. Alright, we want to remove our old strings. Now it might be helpful to go ahead and line up our holes here, so when we put the new strings, you see the holes? These little holes right here. Alright, thank you. As we remove the strings down here off the bridge, the this is where you want to make sure you're not scratching the soundboard. You'll see some guitars with scratches right here. That's why we place something here to protect it. When you're new, it's always good to review the names of the strings as often as possible. The more you say it out loud, the quicker you will remember it. So we have the E, A, D, G, B, E. These little nylon strings. It's almost like dealing with fishing wire. Alright, so we have all of our strings off. So now is a good time to check out our guitar and see if we need to wipe it off, wipe it down where it gets dusty where you can't get to it very well. This is actually in pretty good shape. It's okay to put a little bit of force cleaning off your fretboard. Now when I first bought this, it was a mess and I used some steel wool. Now another important thing is to fill your ends of the frets, and if they get sharp, I have this Leatherman, or you can take any small file. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of a file on the edge of this. You can just take this very carefully and just nick your frets really fast if you find any sharp spots. Now if you're going to do very much work, I suggest taping this with some masking tape or painter's tape, and take your time. And if it's your prized guitar, you might want to take it to a professional. But if there's one little nick, you can hit it with your file. Alright, so today we're going to put on our normal tension. So they come out of the box here. Just real quick, I want to mention that I have a website, Onward Guitar, and all of this equipment here is for sale through Amazon. Cool thing about this brand, the Adorio, is the Players Circle Club. You can get rewards and get free stuff. Alright, so we have our 6 strings here, and they come very nicely labeled. Now these are the 80-20 bronze wound, so as you can see, these look more bronzy than the other ones, and they have them labeled E, A, D, and we're all over the soundboard. Like I said, you shouldn't. So we're going to get back off the soundboard. So we'll start with the E string, the big one. Just undo that real quick and it'll probably shoot out. All right. Now if you notice, it's labeled the 6th string E. So the skinny E is string number 1, and then the fat E is string number 6. We're going to start with number 6. As you can see here, one end is like almost coming undone, loose, and then one end is more normal. We're going to want the normal end down here to be tied around the bridge. Alright, as we look at this bridge, it's important to notice this piece here and make sure you have it in there in the right order, otherwise you'll get fret buzz. So we're going to load our string here through the hole, and I'm going to use this pencil to shoot it up the right direction. Alright, there we go. So we're going to feed all of our strings in We're going to leave enough room on the end to tie it. So we have our E, here's our A. Got it. So we will go through here. This one's a little bit harder to see. Now here's a little trick I learned to keep this mess out of our way while we're trying to tie it. We have our strings up here at the head, and we're going to come down and tie it at the bridge, but I have this chip clip. I'll just grab those strings. Alright, we got the soundboard protected here. We're going to take string number 1, the skinny E string, and when we're done we want the tail pointed towards the center of the guitar on the bridge. We have enough slack. We're going to go to the inside of the guitar. We're going to wrap it around our string once. Now with the skinny E string, we're going to do this twice. Wrap it around twice. And then we'll take it down through, and then we're going to tighten it down. Get that nice and snug. Alright, as you can see, we have a little tail here. And we're going to let the next string hold that tail secure. And with these other strings, we're going to go toward the inside of the guitar and then down. And see how that tail from the first string is now captured. And that's nice and snug. And that will overlap the next string. So you take the string and you go towards the inside, wrap it around, down and through, tighten it down snug, and our tail goes towards the middle. You see that tail is a little long, so we're going to trim that with our wire clippers here. That tail will tuck in. And this tail is a little long too. Alright, we have our 3 skinny strings. Now we're going to go with the fat E string, and now we're going to go around to the inside, around the string, back down. You want to tighten that down with that tail pointing to the middle. See how that gets tightened down there? Alright, now we're going to grab our next one, so it will go towards the inside of the guitar. Wrap it once. That one we're not going to tighten down too tight yet because we still have to get this one snug in there. So we have our tail here around that way. Ratchet that down. Now we can tuck this tail into this one. As we ratchet that down. Now we're going to try to clean this up a little bit here. I think we got some tails too long. Clean this up a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and get some tension on these strings. So as you can see up here on our head, we already have our holes lined up. So we can feed our string through the first one. We have our A through the second one. And we have our D string. Alright, so we have our strings in here. Alright, I like to go through the first one and then up and over. As you can see, we did our first one to the left of the hole, and then all the rest will be to the right. That will lock your string in place. Let's get a close-up of that. And now we're getting tight. Now the second one, the A string, so we're just getting some tension, but we're not getting them tight yet. So the A string comes up. We don't need a lot of extra, so we're going to go ahead and trim this. Let's trim this E string a little bit more so it's out of our way. Okay, so to lock it in, we're going to do some one wind on the left and then all the rest on the right. We have some slack here. So if you get your, there we go, you get first one on the left. One on the right. So, getting a little bit of pressure on me. important to learn how to do this on your own instead of always having to pay someone. As a beginner, it may not look perfect, but you can tighten things up and learn how to take care of your own instrument. All right, we got it pulled through. We're gonna back it up some. Go ahead and trim some off. Now you want your first wrap to be on the outside. Oh, we're about to lose that one. I'm fumbling around a little bit here, but there we go. So our first wrap is on the outside. And then all the other wraps will go towards the middle. This will lock your string in so you can hold your tuning better. On our last string, we feed it through the peg hole. With my other finger, I'm poking it up. Pull it all the way through. Now for some slack, we're going to back it up some. Like we've been doing, let's go ahead and trim some. Now these skinny strings, you might want to do more wraps. You have to keep a little bit of tension with your right hand. Our ties are okay back here. Everything looks good. If you have a tail a little too long, you can trim it. Just be careful not to mess up your soundboard there. That's looking all right. It's not. There we go. See how clean that's looking? All right. Now that we have some tension on the strings, let's go ahead and tighten them up a little bit more. Now, one of the best tricks for tuning and keeping your strings in tune is stretching your strings. So before you get too tight, this is how you can stretch them. You just stretch, not too hard, just a little bit, and that really loosens them up. And you just want to do it 3 or 4 times. You just press with your thumb. See that? Press. So we're going to stretch our strings so that when we tighten them, they'll hold tune better. Do that on each string really quick. It's good to go ahead and do this before you get it really tight. All right, now we're going to turn on our snark tuner. Cool thing about these snark tuners, they connect to the headstock. They tune off of vibrations. So if there's other noise going on in the room, you can still tune. I'm tuned up. It's important to remember there's a tremendous amount of tension on this bridge. It's very common for the bridge to pop up. So hopefully this stays glued. We have a lot of tension here. So let's go ahead and tune them up again. String number 1 is our E. Now your skinny nylon strings will go out of tune a lot faster. But if you tune every day or each time you play, they will hold a tune much better. So let's see how that sounds. They're off a little bit, but and if they won't hold a tune, don't forget you can stretch them again. So here we are with our brand new set of strings.